Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the UFO Planet Sightings and News Report. I'm your host, Darren Crafel. We have some fascinating material on today's program, including a snapshot of a UFO that was following closely behind Trump's helicopter this past August 15th in Des Moines, Iowa, as he was given free rides to the crowd. We have that and a whole lot more coming up right after this. Thank you so much for tuning into the program today. Before I move on with our news and UFO sightings, I just want to mention a little bit about this ticker that you see running here at the bottom of the screen. What we have done is we have added an additional ticker to this program that will show all the UFO sightings that have happened since the last program. I should clarify that it'll show all the UFO sightings that have been reported to MUFON or myself at 4U2CTV since the last program. And there's a lot of them, and those will scroll with a description throughout the entirety of the program. We hope you enjoy reading those as you watch the program. It's time to get started here, and we're going to head first right away to our headline news. There's some interesting news headlines, as there always is, from around the planet, and we found some of them to show you today. This was sent in by a viewer. I'd already read it online, and it's about Apollo 14 astronaut claiming that peace-loving aliens prevented nuclear war here on Earth. I guess that makes us pretty lucky, doesn't it? And we know that that astronaut was Edgar Mitchell, who was part of the Apollo 14 crew. And he claims that we all owe our lives on this planet to aliens who stopped nuclear war from happening during the Cold War era. And he's saying that a lot of the things that we're hearing about this sort of thing, there's a lot more truth to them than maybe we would be comfortable with believing. And it's interesting that this sort of information comes out years after the fact. It's almost like they want us to know. It makes us a little bit, it makes me a little bit leery to know that we lived in a time when we had leaders that were actually willing to push the button. That's pretty scary, isn't it? I don't know if that's going to make us sleep any easier at night or not, but that came to us from news.com.au. Interesting news site down in Australia. And again, thank you to the viewer who sent that headline in to me so that we could include it on today's program. And you can suggest headlines too. Now we're going to go to the I'm going to try this word, Chestershire Observer. I can never pronounce the words and the names over there in England. Sorry, guys. UFO sighting in Sussex excites the experts. And I think that this UFO sighting probably has reason to excite the experts. I don't actually think that that's the UFO, perhaps, that they're talking about here, because there is a video included with this news story that shows a UFO that was supposedly caught in conjunction with this aircraft that was over there in England. It kind of looks like a military aircraft, and probably not one that you would see landing in Sussex all the time. This is from Miss Wobbly Wombat's channel on YouTube. And in this video, and we're going to zoom in here a bit, you want to keep your eyes in the kind of just for the first few seconds, just to the left of the large military aircraft, and that's where you're going to see the UFO. It's kind of interesting to look at here. Now, this is slow motion, so you have more time. Now, they're saying that the craft on the left is a UFO. I'm going to go out on a limb here, but what I'm seeing there is an aircraft, an airplane with wings, and probably one that's just preparing to land or just took off and is circled around. What do you guys think? Am I going to get shot some nasty emails there when I say that that isn't a UFO, that it is an aircraft? And I guess it can be an aircraft and a UFO at the same time. If it's unidentified, then it's a UFO and an aircraft. Well, if you're down in Australia and you happen to see a UFO and you want to report it, don't waste your time calling the Royal Australian Air Force, because they're just going to send you to some local groups that are going to do that, I guess, examination of your sighting for you. They really don't want to do UFOs down there at the Royal Air Force anymore. And I think that's because they probably have all the information that they need. But having said that, if you happen to see something that's worth seeing, you bet your sweet billies that they're going to be showing up on your doorstep and wanting all the information, photographs and everything, and then for you to claim it never happened. That's just the way military works. You can never trust anyone with a uniform on. UFO spotted in the skies above Glasgow. Pardon me, I shouldn't say you can't trust anyone. There's some people in uniforms you can't trust. So we had some objects spotted over Glasgow, and I think it was kind of interesting because what they said here is that there were several of these objects, and they were captured by Stuart Noble, a photographer over there. And there were several objects, but there were some that apparently appeared on film much better than others. And this also happened during the time that the meteor showers were going on. Actually, Stuart was setting up his equipment for the meteor showers when he captured the snapshots. And there was a lot of other people around the world that had the same thing happen. In fact, they reported it to MUFON that they had captured similar type of events during the meteor shower. So what does that mean? There's a lot of UFOs that come with those meteors, or are meteors being mistaken for UFOs? Really kind of hard to tell, isn't it? One thing I can tell you though is that we have a lot of UFO sightings coming up on today's program, and that's going to get started right away. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
UFO Planet.
Five, four, three, two, one, zero. I feel the liftoff. The clock has started. Roger. Out and clear, Gus. Roger, Laura 7, stand by for the time lock. Roger. Little bit of shaking. Pretty smooth. 3, 2.
You know, it's really sad that we're beginning to lose a lot of the astronauts from the Apollo era, because I think that they're going to take with them a lot of information that we would have really liked to hear about before they go. And for those that still remain, we hope that you become brave enough to share that information with the world. Speaking of sharing with the world, it's time to take a look at some of the sightings that have happened. I've changed up this section a little bit. It's now going to include sightings with or without media, depending on how much has been sent in. We're going to begin today with Fort Collins down in Colorado. This sighting took place on June 26th. Now we have video with this sighting, and we do with all of the sightings on today's program, as a matter of fact. So these people witnessed 3 different occasions: June 26th, July 11th, and July 25th. They saw 3 different events that were very similar. We're looking at a very, very short video that they shot, and it's difficult to see, obviously shot with a cell phone at night. But this was in Fort Collins and Wellington in Colorado. Again, there were 3 sightings over the course of 3 different events on 3 different days. It'd be amazing just to have one. Someone gets 3. How lucky are they? Jackson, Wyoming is where we're heading to next. And this is for a sighting that was captured on August 5th, just a little bit earlier this month. Jackson looks like a nice little community, rather small, certainly beautiful scenery there. Now there's 3 gals that get together on their horses, and they go riding out in the backcountry every Wednesday. And on this particular Wednesday, they happen to capture some photographs, and in a couple of the photographs were these strange looking lights up in the sky. And they're wondering, what are they? They never saw or heard any airplanes that were close by. And they were genuinely interested to find out what exactly they were looking at. And that happens to a lot of people. They don't even think about UFOs until they see something that they can't explain. Now we're going to go to Lac Cayement, Quebec in Canada. This is a recent sighting as well. And this is one of those sightings where, you know, initially I had it in the top 5, but by the time I was done creating the program, it had been relegated to just this section. Calumet, Quebec, Canada, 6 round independent orange lights raced 400 to 800 feet apart, moving across the sky. I read that, first thing came to my mind, Chinese lanterns. But they said the last one stopped and hovered up and down. So the Chinese lanterns go up and down? I guess they could if they're starting to go out. I don't know. Or it could be an anomaly from looking at that from some sort of a distance. I really couldn't tell you. But nonetheless, that is in Lac Calumet in Quebec here in Canada. Next, we're going to take a look at an interesting video captured on a flight from Asia to Boston, July 24th. I believe this was 2014 though. So we just saw the route that the airplane traveled there. We're not exactly sure where the aircraft was at the time these photos were taken. And what it was is there was a number of orbs that were spotted. In total, there were 11 that this particular person saw. They could also see other aircraft out in the skies during the same time. So they were able to distinguish that these orbs were not aircraft. Say they would basically come and go, appear and disappear. So that was on a flight from Asia to the United States, to Boston to be exact, and was very interesting. It's interesting that people are able to and have the presence of mind to pull out their cell phones and capture some of these events so that we can sit at home and enjoy them. And if you have a video, make sure you send it to me. I would love to see it, or a story, Darren at 4u2ctv.com. I'll be right back.
UFO Planet.
Welcome back to the program. It was a fantastic week this week. I had a lot of UFO videos that were sent in to me, and that's why I made the decision to only show sightings without media if in fact I ran out of sightings with media. But now it's time for my favorite part of the program, and that's the top 5 sightings. Out of all of the sightings that were sent into MUFON and into myself, I go through them all and I select what I think are the 5 best. Let's get them going now. We're going to start off with an amazing video from Monterey Park, California, shot by my friend Jonathan Castro. And this is the Robert Bingham gang down there. Have a look and listen to this one.
No, it has something on the side, Robert.
We got a picture.
Oh.
Yeah? Uh-oh, Iron Man, sorry.
Probably the
What is that?
super people.
Oh.
Maldakians. Might be the super people, Maldakians. It's holding its position straight up and down.
It's one straight up and down and staying that way.
You see it? Oh, yeah. You don't know when you guys see them.
It's like this looks like a person with his arm sticking out.
See it, John?
No, I don't see it at all.
Oh, there it is, to the left.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Where? Could you point it somewhere?
Right over here, look at John, Angela. See that? See it?
Yes.
I think we got Maldakians.
Oh my God, I'd give my left nut to see that thing. Let's find that.
Astronaut in a spacesuit.
Like the mission. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to zoom in, okay?
Okay, you're low.
It's torture.
Martin.
You're high.
I lost
Okay,
it.
there. Just go.
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, there it is. I got it.
The Michelin Man?
I don't know. It looks like a person almost.
It almost looks like a person, right?
Yeah, it looks like a person almost.
Yeah, exactly. That looks like a person.
I saw his hair.
Is it moving? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
arm.
a person. It's a person?
Yeah, arm.
I mean, it
It appears like a person, but it's...
Well, if anyone's looking for Grandpa, I think he's down there in California. Next, we're off to Chicago, Illinois. This, too, is another fascinating sighting. They all are if they make it to the top 5.
Oh my God, I want to hurry up and cross. I want to look. Yeah, look at all the helicopters swarming. Come on, God. All right, hold on.
Oh my God!
They look like planes, dude.
What the heck is that?
Planes?
Okay,
Like that?
They're
Quiet?
blinking like that.
What the
Whoa,
fuck?
whoa, 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 whoa.
I think that's it.
How come we didn't have a chance to
I don't know,
cross?
but look at it. Look at the way it's swarming right there. You guys stand back. Chris, stand back. Chris, stand back.
I think that's a UFO.
Stand back more, Chris.
It has to be something. Maybe the helicopters are just filming it.
Yeah, that's some planes.
I can't get it. Come on, here it comes again. Every time it comes back, it has more to it.
Yeah, look at it.
Every time it goes back, it comes more. What the heck? Everybody's looking at it. It's what? It's what? It didn't start yet. Yeah, Mom.
Very interesting in Chicago, Illinois. Now we're going to Cave Creek, Arizona. This sighting happened on August 15th, just recently. And down in Cave Creek, what they saw was captured with a night vision security camera. And there were several photographs that captured anomalies in the photographs, and he's wondering if anyone knows what they are. So I see some things now in this particular photograph that's going to come up next. This one, that looks like a very, very familiar object that a lot of people have captured and is supposedly a bug or some sort of an insect. Is that what was captured here? Lots of photographs. Interesting to see a cactus in someone's front yard though, isn't it? Cave Creek, Arizona, August 15th. Tarzana, California next we're heading off to. It's always interesting to try and pronounce these words, and this one has audio, so I'll just let you listen to the natural sound.
It's like not, my video's like not picking it up. There is a freaking UFO in Encino. It's like not, my video's like not picking it up. There is a freaking UFO in Encino. It's like not, my video's like not picking it up. There is a freaking UFO in Encino.
Next we're off to Taos, New Mexico. This was captured recently, August 16th. And that last sighting was pretty interesting, isn't it? I absolutely just love when people have their first UFO experience. All of the UFO sightings on today's program were interesting. So what this is a series of 2 photographs, but what the person's saying is that they're capturing 2 triangular looking UFOs. They didn't actually see it in the skies. These are pictures that they noticed the objects after the fact. And that always makes me suspicious. That means you need to really have a good look at it. So they were taken in the parking lot, but it doesn't look like they were shining through any glass. And that's what would make it suspicious to me. If you're behind glass, your chances are you're catching, a reflection. Here, we're going to put them up side by side so you can see that they're absolutely identical. But what are we looking at there? Not taken from inside a vehicle or inside the Walmart there. It was taken from the Walmart parking lot. So that's our top 5 sightings this show. Again, what I do is I go through and I look for the 5 best, not necessarily ET, but the 5 best that were sighted, because I kind of get the impression that a lot of people are looking for every UFO video online to show an extraterrestrial craft. I just want to remind everyone that UFO stands for unidentified flying objects. So in essence, anything that's flying is on the list. We have our top video clip coming up, and that's the one with Trump's helicopter. Stick around. I'll be right back, and I'm going to blow your socks off. Well, at least Trump will try to.
UFO Planet.
Welcome back to the program. I just want to remind everybody there, you just saw about our affiliate program. If you happen to own a website or a Facebook group, get in contact with us. Join us up for our affiliate program, and we'll provide you with programming to put on your website and some benefits that regular people who post our material won't get. So it's time to move away from our sightings and go to our hot video clip of the day. Now this is an interesting one because apparently old Mr. Donald Baby was down there in Des Moines, Iowa, and he decided to give kids free helicopter rides in his helicopter. I imagine that old Jeb Bush was probably there with his hang glider trying to give some kids rides with that too, but in any case, he doesn't have any trouble giving those rides in the helicopter. Let's take a look at this on our hot clip of the day today, because apparently there was a UFO in the area, and at least one person captured a shot of that UFO, just one still photo at the Iowa State Fair on August 15th. So there's Trump's helicopter, and they have it all fired up so he can take off there and give some of his underage voters a ride in the helicopter so they can go home and convince Mom and Dad to vote Trump on the Republican ticket, and then later for the American president. So here's the photograph. Now you're going to see the UFO in the top right area of the screen, and you can see the helicopter flying there. What do you think we're taking a look at there in Des Moines, Iowa? I think that's kind of interesting. But there might be an easy explanation for this. Kind of notice the wings that are protruding from the sides of it. Are we looking at our bug syndrome? Now, looks like he thinks for sure it's a UFO and he wants to hire them. He may need help from ET if he's going to win the presidency, even though he's at the top of the polls right now. But I think that's because he likes to fight with those Fox News girls. But to me, it looks like I see wings coming out the side there, like there's potential that that is some sort of a bird or an insect. But this photo was taken in Des Moines, Iowa, in the United States of America on August 15th, 2015. And they have an election coming up down there, that's right. So they're all off out there trying to make friends, kissing babies, and you know what else they kiss. We'll just have to stick around and see what happens. Before I end the program today, I just want to send out a thank you to Christina Palladian. Christina said some really nice things to me on my Facebook wall. here a couple of weeks ago, and it was very timely because I had really had a bad day. It was a couple of episodes ago, and we had attempted to record the program 7 times, and the power kept going out like literally 2 minutes before the end of the program. And all of a sudden I get this ring on my cell phone, and it's a message from Christina saying how much her and her family enjoy watching UFO Planet Sightings and News Report. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who do take the time to watch the program and take the time to comment in the comment section. I really do appreciate it. I read each and every one of them, even though I don't have time to always respond. Well, my name's Darren Crapo, and I'll be with you again on Monday for another series of UFO sightings shot somewhere on planet Earth, and hopefully one of those sightings comes from you. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone, and be good, because it sucks to be bad.